These Can-Am Commanders are perfect for work and play. Today we're going to do a little bit of both. We'll outfit this thing for the job site and get it ready for the woods. Welcome to Truck U. Now, Bruno, you know that I love these side-by-side vehicles, right? I've had a couple different ones over the years, and this is a nice one. And these are perfect for what we're going to do because you can encompass all the elements of playing and working, right? So this is the 2014 Can-Am Commander, and I think this is a nice place for us to start today.
Yeah, you know, it's a great balance of something that's off-road worthy and it's still a utility vehicle. You know, a lot of them have gone away from that these days, but check this out. This is Matt's big feature that he loves, the fact that the bed still dumps and there's a handle on both sides.
There's a handle on each side, unlike the one I have back at the house. Maybe it's time for an upgrade.
Yeah, I think you need to break out the wallet. You know, something like this is nice too because we like it because it performs as well. I mean, it goes over 70 miles an hour. It's got an 85 horse motor. Look at it, the suspension travel on this thing, 10 inches up front, 5-way adjustable shocks, auto locking differential. This thing is the real deal. You know, the last time Matt got his hands on one of these, he rolled it. This is a little more capable. I think we'll be all right.
Well, you always have to be pointing fingers.
I'm just being real, buddy.
You know, I had forgotten about that. So the good news is we got with the guys from Quad Boss, and we got a whole bunch of stuff for this. I mean, we're talking about tires and wheels, spacers, which are going to come in handy.
That'll help you in those turns, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a winch up there, gloves. I mean, a fire extinguisher may come in handy.
My favorite part is this helmet right here, because that means they expect us to drive this thing, which is going to be a lot of fun. And the fire extinguishers definitely come in handy for you.
You know, if we start going over, dude, arms in.
Arms in.
Right.
Yeah, I learned the last time.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get the party started up here in the front, and we're going to make room for the new winch that's going to slide in here. So really all I need to do is pop this thing off, and then I should be able to get all this plastic out of the way. Come on now. Come on. All right, now let's take a look at here. All right, come on out. Now that was nice and easy. A couple bolts, and you can see right in here. Let's see, we'll get that out of the way too. So this is the mounting bracket for the winch. So this is going to kind of sneak in to this area and basically sit right here, right? That gives you a ballpark of what it's going to be. Now, we're not ready for this bracket yet. I just wanted to show you where it goes. I've got to get this over to Bruno because he's got some plans for this.
So I got this mounting bracket from Matt. Now, this is a specific mounting bracket for the Can-Am Commander, so you know it's going to bolt right into place. And our winch will go right up top. Now, we got this winch from Quad Boss. It's a 2,500-pound winch with Dyneema rope. And the whole idea is the fact that the Dyneema rope is a safety issue. You know, it's going to be much better than your typical cable. Let's say you overload this thing and it gets bad, traditional cable is going to snap and it's going to come after you and you're going to get hurt. With this, if it splits, it drops, no harm, no foul. The other thing that's nice about this too, it's got a 2-stage planetary gear inside, so it winds up fast. You don't have to waste a day waiting to spool this thing up. But before we mount the winch, we want to do a little modification to this bracket. So we'll flip it over because the whole idea is to keep everything nice and tight. So our solenoid pack, what we want to do is mount it off the side like this, and then we'll have a hole gone through with a step drill for our mount for the remote. So everything is nice and tight and tucked away. Now, when you're going to drill through metal, a lot of people will take this, set it where they want it, use a marker to mark the point and drill through. But the problem is when you've got a situation where this is deep, you want to use a transfer punch. And the whole idea is it'll go all the way through down, so you'll get a nice hole and you'll get it where you want because you really can't reach with a marker. The other benefit to it is the fact that once you stamp it, you're going to have a point to drill from where the drill won't walk. So what we'll do is we will transfer the hole, get ourselves a center point right there. We'll drill this one out, then we'll go ahead, bolt that one in place, and go all the way around. This way we'll make sure once we get it tied down, it won't walk on us, and it'll be located in the right spot.
Now we're ready to do the wiring for this winch. Now typically, you know, Bruno handles the wiring because he's like a wiring genius, but today I'm doing it for some reason. I'm not sure why, but the good news is This is an easy thing to wire up. Now the deal is we don't want to be cutting up a bunch of pieces and drilling a bunch of holes. The good thing is we have a lot of room to work with. So what we need to do is wire this switch that goes to the solenoid on the top of the thing that Bruno was talking about right there, actually on the bottom. So this is going to mount right here on the OS handle. So that'll mount up, right? We can adjust that a little bit. This piece, I took the bolts out, and we're just going to hide this wire right down in here. There's plenty of room. You know, that'll all fit down in there. And then we'll run that up to the solenoid. That'll all be tucked away and hidden, and we'll tighten up and get the slack out. So that will look very nice. Next thing we need to do is supply power from the battery up to the winch itself. Well, you've got these cables here. The battery mounts right up under here, and it's a little bit tricky to fish it through. You know, if you're running like a flat screen TV on your wall at the house, but the cable box and everything is over here, you know about fishing the wires through. That's kind of the same thing that we've got to do. So we need to run this through and around some corners. Now, here's a couple of ideas that can make that job a little bit easier. If you've got some aluminum fill rod, this is nice to use because it's kind of rigid. It's a little bit strong, but it's easy to bend, right? So you can get that through where you need to get it and then run that right through the eyelet, crimp that there, and then you can just pull your wire right through if you want to do that. Now, if you have a pair of these around, these little mechanical fingers, these are pretty cool too because it's flexible and you can run that through wherever you need to go, and then boom, open them up, hook it, and pull everything right back. That's gonna make a job like this much easier. Now we need to go to break so that I can finish up this wiring and get that winch in place. He aired up the tires and put in the gas, and that's how Chris's LMC Truck Life story began. As a private investigator, he wasn't looking for this 58 Chevrolet Apache, it kind of found him. After getting it running again, Chris had a goal to make this truck a reliable daily driver, and not a show truck, but he achieved both. Chris and his truck may be stuck in the 50s, but with 50s rock, pinup girls, and classic trucks, what's wrong with that? Check out more of the 58 Apache or share your own truck journey at lmctrucklife.com.
Welcome back. We're working on this 2014 Can-Am Commander, putting on the winch up front. Now we've got the backing plate all in place. We've got all the electric solenoids there. It's just a matter of running the wires to this that Matt had already run through the vehicle.
You know, that looks good. It's like you actually put some planning into that, you know?
Right? A little thought goes a long way, huh?
It's nice when it all comes together too. So, hey, I got those wires through there. You know, I learned from watching The Expert, of course, right? That's what you told me to say?
You've been paying attention for the last few years, right?
Did I deliver that okay for you?
When you set it up here, you'll see that everything's going to tuck away nicely. All we have to do is make a little connection with our plug-in connector here, and we are done with that part of it.
All right, I'll let you worry about that because then when it gets to this point, man, we can just throw in our little hook here, right? Our little accessory hook.
Yeah.
This is going to get us out of some stuff, and you can put the face back on, and boom.
We got to tighten some bolts. Well, this will give
Yeah.
you guys a look at the finished product. Everything is kind of hidden away. You'll just see that sticking out, and
Yeah.
it looks like a factory front end for this Commander.
Looks
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so when you get this thing in trouble, we can get out. So we got the winch mounted up front. Now it's time to do a few upgrades in back. And one of the things we were going to do to this thing is put on these new Quad Boss Coercion wheels. You know, one of the things I like is the fact, first of all, it's matte black with those polished accents. It looks good, but they're ultra lightweight, and these things are strong. They can handle pretty much anything we're going to throw at them.
They do look great, and we're going to wrap them up with these QBT 447 tires, man. And these are really good for utility reasons, right? Now, take a look at this thing. It looks aggressive. You've got the big, deep treads right there, the big lugs, man, and they wrap around the side. And what that's good for is, let's say you're off the road, which is where we're going to be in this thing, and you're getting in some soft sand or some mud. Now, not only are you getting the traction up here on the tire, but you're getting it down here as well. And hopefully that is getting you out. That's the name of the game, right?
Yeah, I'm with you on traction. You know,
Yeah.
we've had some instances with vehicles like this where we lost it and it ended up ugly barrel rolling it. And one of the reasons we're going to put on these new spacers is to address just that. Now, we got these from Quad Boss as well, and these aren't adapters, they're actual spacers. You can run without them. But the whole idea here is to get a wider stance, get the wheels farther out, and essentially lower the center of gravity. So what these will do is slide right on over here, you bolt the wheel to it. It's just that simple. What you want to do before you use any kind of a wheel spacer is make sure you put a little bit of thread locker on all your studs. The last thing you want to have happen is the bolts get loose on this, and then the wheel starts wobbling and stuff starts getting ugly. So make sure you use a little thread locker, then bolt this down and put your wheel on. Just want to make sure you start these by hand so you don't strip them. And then torque them to about 250 B-man-pounds.
That's like 400 normal man-pounds, isn't it?
Yep. And then you put these bad boys on. So we are halfway there. The back is done. I'm going to roll around to the front and put the spacers on up there.
So we've got the stance handled. That looks awesome. Now we want to keep the fuel system running clean, and we're going to do that with StarTron enzyme fuel treatment. Now I know what you're thinking. It's brand new. Why do we have to use this? Well, you know what? One of the things I love about this is where it says right there on the box, it's not the engine, it's the fuel. What they're talking about is the fact that in today's gasoline, it's got all this ethanol in it, and that is put in to keep the emissions a little bit cleaner. Now the sacrifice or the trade-off on that is it robs you of horsepower and it keeps your engine from working to its full potential. This brings all that potential back. That's the name of the game. And it's simple to pour in. My neighbor was at my house the other day and he saw this in the garage and he's like, oh, what's that do? And I was explaining it to him and he's like, man, I don't know about that stuff because sometimes I pour too much in. Here's the deal. It's fuel based. You can't pour too much of this in. So you can get a little sloppy if you want to. It's not going to hurt anything at all. They got a lot of different sizes, which is nice. So you got the big bottles and these little shooters where 1 ounce works for 6 gallons. So that's cool for, you know, a motorcycle or a four-wheeler or something like that. People love these little shooters. They said, I want one that's going to treat a bigger tank though, right? So they made the super concentrated formula and that is good. This little thing right here is good for a 25-gallon tank. That's phenomenal. Now over here you've got 1 ounce for 16 gallons, the whole deal. Now where this really comes in handy are on vehicles like these. Sure, it's brand new when you buy it, you might run it every day for 2 weeks. Then it sits in the garage and it may sit there for a couple weeks, a couple of months. You've got old jet skis, boats that haven't run in years. And the deal is that ethanol sits in the engine and it gels it all up. The StarTron enzyme fuel treatment will actually keep that gas fresh for up to 2 years, which is crazy. So, like we said, this one bottle will treat 25 gallons. That's a little more than I need right here, but I don't have to worry about it because I can't put too much in. It's just that easy. That fuel is good. All right, so that's done. We need to go to break, and when we come back, we got more work on the Commander. There's the cat right there. So today we've been working all day on this Can-Am Commander side-by-side. Now I'll tell you this, if you're ever out in the middle of the woods at night in one of these, you're going to learn real quick the value of good lighting on something like this. Those same principles hold true on your work truck. Think about it. On your work truck, it's just as important, if not even more important, to have good lighting on that. That is where these come in. These are some super cool LED work lights from Grody Industries, and they're flexible because they're so small, you can mount them on anything. They'd be perfect for something like this or your work truck. Either way, you can't go wrong. Now they operate between 10 and 48 volts with full light output. That's a really low power draw. We're talking just under 18 watts, and you've got a couple different patterns as far as the flood goes too. On this side, you can see it kind of concentrates that beam and it shoots it way out, up to about 250 feet. You'll have really good light. Now this one kind of breaks the light up and diffuses it a little bit, and that's going to flood it all out just over 100 feet. So you've got a couple different options as well as far as that goes. Now, these work lamps and these LED lights are just a small part of the entire line from Grody Industries, and you can get them all at Federated Auto Parts.
Dude, 9 out of 10 times, I'm going to win that tug of war every time.
I got this, dude. But that one time's going to be awesome if I can
It would be
pull
pretty
it off.
cool. You know, we've had a lot of fun playing around this Can-Am Commander today. Hold on, wait for it. You know, one of the things we like about it is a true utility vehicle. You know, you got the bed that dumps in the back. Matt can put all his stuff in it. But I figured we'd take it up a notch and go ahead with a brand new swivel dump trailer we got from the guys at Quad Boss as well. Nice surprise?
This is a great surprise. Usually sometimes your ideas, maybe not so much, and your surprises are even worse. But this time you hit it with both, man. This is great. This is going to be unbelievable. Like, I would use this a million different ways where I live, dude. I mean, I'm talking seaweed out of the lake. You could cut down some small trees and haul the brush away. If you're moving some dirt here or there, I mean, this is perfect, actually.
Well, see, I'm always thinking of the kid, you know, so this is great for him around his property. The thing is, we just need to put the thing together, and it actually is pretty easy to do because look here, you've got a couple bolts to put in place, a support underneath, wheels and tires. Boom, we are up and rolling, bud.
Dude, you got bolts laid out for me and everything.
I'm good. All right, pick
You're
this
going
end
to
up.
spoil me. You know that? I could get used to this. It's kind of like, it's almost borderline respectful. which I'm really not.
Got to
used
respect your elders. That's what my mama taught me.
Oh, yeah, that's true. This thing just keeps getting cooler and cooler. I can't believe Bruno was behind this. Look, it swivels. We can make the turns, this, that, the other. It dumps, all that. Now, when we want to lock it up, you just kind of slam it in there like that. And when you're ready to unhook it, you just step on this pedal and boom, there you go. Ready to go to work. Love it. I'm out. We'll finish up that Commander here in a little bit. Meanwhile, we can check out some of the new stuff that we got in today, like this. It's the Lava Shield from Heat Shield Products.
Now, this stuff is rated up to 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit continuously and can take up to intermittent temperatures of 2,000 degrees. So if you've got anything that needs to be isolated from the heat, this is a great way to go, especially the fact that it is both water, acid, and chemical resistant, so it won't pull apart like most aluminized fabrics.
Now you take a look at this. It's got that cool carbon fiber look, right? And it's simple peel and stick. So you just peel it off, stick it on, and it's flexible, so you can do all the contours like on that piece right there. Pretty cool deal, and it blocks up to 80% of that radiant heat.
Yeah, this is nice.
These are transmission rear housing supports that we got from Merchant Automotive, and these are for the guys rolling down the road on the Duramaxes, right? So if you've got the Allison transmission from 01 to now, or if you're running that ZF6 from 01 to 06, you might be having a common problem.
Yeah, the common problem is driveline vibrations as a result of a bad U-joint or a bad drive shaft. The end result is going to be a crack in your transmission housing case, which can cause thousands of dollars of damage to the internal components. The problem is all the weight is set or on hanging off the back of the trans. There's no support for it. So Merchant Automotive has this bracing that goes into place. This support actually goes up to the rear of the trans, brings all the load off of the back, and everything is nice and supported and eliminates that problem.
It's a nice job for the do-it-yourselfer because you can do it in your driveway with stock bolts and holes and everything like that, and avoid a costly repair down the road. That's the name of the game. One of the best things you can do to keep your metal pieces and parts in your vehicle looking their very best is to use the White Diamond Metal Polish and Sealant.
We like to use it because it's easy to use and it's effective. I mean, you get a great finish to all your metal parts. Also, there's a protectant built in, so they'll keep looking good for a long period of time. You won't spend all your time polishing your engine or all your metal components.
Now, you mentioned the fact that it's easy to use, which it is, but they actually went a step further and made it even easier with these little handy wipes. So you gotta love that, right? So now you can go either with the wipes or out of the bottle, either way. Both are available at your local auto place.
This segment of Truck U is brought to you by Seatbelt Solutions, the safest seatbelt money can buy.
Fire extinguisher, check.
Nice.
And hopefully we never need it, right? Ideally. Hey, welcome back to Truck U. So today we've been working on the Commander all day. It's been fun, and most people, most normal people, would work on this and look forward to taking it out and running it really fast and having fun. Not this kid. I'm looking forward to going out there and working with the dump trailer. I've got some
You're an
issues.
odd bird, man.
I'm still trying to resolve everything, you know. But the winch is in place. It's wired up. The control's right here where we can reach it. Everything works. The trailer is built. But alas, we still have more stuff.
Yeah, a couple of odds and ends we need to tie up. We got the side view mirrors on because you never know who's going to creep up on you. We got some grab handles we're going to throw around all the way around because, you know, it's nice to have something to hold on to just in case stuff gets a little crazy out there on the trails, especially with you driving.
Oh, like when you're screaming and everything?
And your barrel rolling it.
Yeah.
We've got the fire extinguisher in back, so I think we're about set up. Now with just a mat. Wait, you know what? We're missing something.
We are, dude. I can't put
You know,
my
we did
finger
one
on
of these
it.
before, and Matt went way overboard on one thing, and I just can't remember quite what it was.
What was that? What was that?
And you look over, holy cow, dude, you've got a lot of cup holders here.
Yeah, we got a lot of them sent to us, man. And we talked about this.
I thought you were kidding.
No, I needed 30 cans, right? And look, I got 6, 12, 18, 24, and I have 6 randomly dispersed throughout the roll cage. What?
There's
What?
ice in it right now. The drink holders.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think they left them out on purpose.
Nice, dude. I
You
got
had
a
like
little,
90 of them on
I
here.
went a little type A on that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Speaking of that, though, I love where you're going with this, kid. Check it out. I didn't forget this. The official Matt Steel Outdoors limited edition signature series aluminum CNC machined drink holder, dude. Look at that. They literally will go anywhere.
That is like artwork. Don't you have like a couple thousand of those still laying around?
Got a garage full of them. That's why I'm trying to get rid of them.
They're
So
flying right off the shelf.
I was going to say they're one of a kind, but they're actually not.
One of thousands
And pallets.
that you have for yourself.
You know, looking cool is half the battle, right?
You must
Nice
admit, I
helmets.
did a good job on the safety gear, man. I mean, check this helmet out. This is awesome.
Yeah, I figured we could be like the tag team champions of the world, right?
That too.
That
you
would
know.
look great.
Hey, when it comes to safety, B-Man, don't play.
All right.
Let's go. Speaking of, we'll drop that trailer at your place. Go have some fun.
Good call, but I need to get some weeds and stuff out of the way first. So can you help me out with that first, right?
No, you're not doing that again.
It'd take like an
No,
hour.
no.
I mean, what's
you
the
don't have
big
enough
deal?
money
No,
to pay
dude.
me to do that.
All right,
Let's go.
listen,
Got to put it in gear.
it's just a couple weeds. It's all good. Don't worry about it, dude.
Not R for race either. You know, somehow Matt always cons me into coming over to his place and doing work from around the property. But this little dump cart definitely makes helping a brother out a whole lot easier.
I like how fast we can drive in the Can-Am, and the trailer, it just comes along for the ride. And the nice thing is this dump cart rides so high up in the air, it gives us 12 inches of full ground clearance. Now hopefully, that's more than we're ever gonna need, I hope.
Not to mention how easy it is to get rid of heavy stuff when you're done hauling it around. You just dump it. Speaking of heavy stuff, it's time to dump the heavy weight, lose the cart, and have some fun.
You know, now we can really see the difference in the wheel spacers and the new tires when we hit those turns, and these tires just shred the dirt and the mud.
This thing is a blast to drive. You can really feel that stock suspension start to work. You know, the different driving modes are cool, but for me, the race mode is all this thing really needs.
We didn't go too crazy with this Can-Am today because we didn't have to. Thanks to Quad Boss for all the cool stuff, like the front winch that stays hidden, the new wheels and tires, and we can't forget that dump cart. I love that thing.
Yeah, you do. You know, it's the little accessories too that make the difference. You know, the right gear to ride around in the side view mirrors, they go a long way. You know, when you use these vehicles as often as we do, you know, you gotta have some fun on these things. You know, that's all the time we've got today for Truck U. See you next time.
See ya.